Another season in the books. Got to move all these docks over to Wisconsin from Iowa. Hey, what's up? Dennis, how are you doing today? It's going to be a while to get over to Wisconsin, so I figured, you know what, my phone's about fully charged. Might as well do a little morning river ride. Morning, Wookie. How you doing? Did anybody see the Aurora Borealis the past 2 nights? 2 nights ago was very impressive. It was supposed to be even more impressive last night, but depending on our magnetic field and whatever scientists use big words for, it didn't quite pop off like it did the night before last night. So this is for real, brother. I posted a bunch of photos I took on my Facebook profile and a couple of them on the Bad Tree Facebook page. I tried to attempt to make a video with Nacho Cuda. I wanted to take it out in the cornfields on a gravel road and get like a time-lapse video of the Aurora Borealis or Northern Lights in the background dancing around all fancy. But, you know, because I wanted to do something, the galaxy said, nah, we ain't gonna make it look pretty like the night before. When we get lined up with that mint-colored cabin on the island, I need to start throwing this pontoon boat in reverse to turn the front of the whole dock. We got about a 2.5-mile journey to go and move this thing for winter storage. Yeah, I'm gonna set you here. I'm gonna nibble on some breakfast and a Red Bull, and all right, John, you take it easy, brother. Viking souls heading to Valhalla. Valhalla. How do you say it? We're almost to our turning point. They're saying it could hit 70 degrees tomorrow. Yesterday it was like 30. Got down to freaking 22, I think. Is the river still low? Yeah, it's very low. Well, so Big Bear Outdoors, Pool 10 Mississippi River's average is supposed to be 7 to 9 feet. We're currently at 6.8. So islands on the south side will have mud flats that go out from all the settlement getting deposited by the current over century and centuries of this thing being a river. So the south sides of the islands have mud flats on them. North sides generally don't, if that makes sense, because the water is traveling from the north to the south. We're about to where we need to turn. Oh. I wish I had beer and donuts for breakfast, but I'm trying to be healthy. Meat sticks and cheese and Red Bull. Alrighty. I'll give her a little reverse up front here. We'll turn this thing. I believe this is 80-foot long dock. I'm not sure. I think it's around there somewhere. I think we're doing all right. You'll know when we're not doing all right when the dock abruptly stops in the mud. Yep, just south of heaven. All right. Don't see any mud blowing up yet. All right, details is work barge on the back with a 90 horsepower 4-stroke Honda, rental pontoon with a 75 horse 4-stroke fuel injection Honda, bass boat, bass tracker, 16-footer, 50 horse 2-stroke, and then I'm on a rental boat with a 75 horsepower. Usually we use 2 work barges with 2 90s on the back and then 1 steer boat up front. The dock weighs a metric fuck ton is what it's calibrated to, because it's got a full tin roof and everything on it. And we probably travel about 2 knots an hour or whatever. It's not a fast trip by any means. But now you can start seeing some of these cabins on the island over there. That's only accessible by parachute or boat or swimming, I suppose. Back in the 70s, dudes would go up to the top of the hill there, that's called Point Anne. They'd have paragliders. They'd leap off and land on the island. The island where the big power tower is there used to be a bar that you could only get over to the ferry that stayed over in McGregor. So a bunch of drunks would get on at 6 o'clock. Ferry would ferry you over this island, drop you off, and it ran hourly. So at 7 it'd run back, 8 run back, yada yada yada. And it burnt down. I imagine the fire department wasn't quite able to get to it. But there's a bunch of little cabins still on the island yet. They're all privately owned. You kind of gotta have about $100,000 or more whenever one pops up for sale. I know 2 of them are for sale. You see that A-frame right there, Cope? That one just sold for $200,000. So it's not super expensive in this area. Yeah, no kidding. It is a metric F-ton. And then in the wintertime, like we're getting ready to get into, We like the water to freeze so the floats stay above the water level. We want it to freeze in before the snow load hits the roof. If it doesn't freeze and the snow hits the roof, it sinks the whole damn dock. If it freezes then snows, it stays in the ice, and then you got to come over with roof rakes and clear the snow off of it. That's a young man's job. That ain't for me no more. Alrighty. Yeah, so there's a little slough that runs on the backside of this island, and that's where everybody has their personal docks for their boats to get to these cabins. If there's ever a storm and any of these trees blow over, you'll find bottle spills like crazy, because they would just chuck barrels of beer bottles out the back door of this place back in the day, because they didn't have trash over here. You don't have a municipality coming picking up your trash on the island, so they just made a dump out back. So if there's ever a storm and you come back here and there's a root ball sticking up fresh, I mean, it's just littered with old bottles. And there used to be a button factory in town too, so you'll find a lot of clam shells or oyster shells or whatever with round holes punched in them. And that's what they used to make buttons out of. What is up, T? Hey, so what? What if we are his family? So we put it over, and pay attention back there. We put it over in Wisconsin because over on the Iowa side, back when this was a ginormous river, think of the Mississippi like a trout stream. Stop turning! Stop turning! Jesus. Fucking trying to take us sideways. Anyway, imagine that the Mississippi River is a trout stream. Over here is the outside of a corner, so this is the high bank side, so it's sheer straight bluffs and drop off. On the Wisconsin side would be the inner side of the turn, which would be like your beach, all the sand and silt deposits, nice and low laying. So this is the main channel where all the current's ripping. So if you try to freeze this shit in the wintertime, the ice is going to come down. It's going to destroy everything. What is he doing? So yeah, on the Wisconsin side, it's the backwaters, and so there's not a lot of current. So the docks have more of a chance to survive over in Wisconsin than they would over in Iowa. Doing boat stuff, T. Yeah, if I'm not in reverse, it just wants to turn sharp right. Maybe not have Annie full balls. She's probably turning us. Because if the outside boat's pushing harder than the center boat, then it's going to want to turn us to the right. So she backs her off a little. I don't think it'll be... No, it still wants to turn. Huh, weird. So yeah, I'm herding cats. Thanks, brother. Hey, Colleen, how you doing? don't try to steer back there, and I corrected it all. Oh, there you go, Brian. Anyway, sorry, where was I? Yeah, we put them over in the backwater so the ice doesn't destroy it. At least in theory, it gives these docks a better chance to survive. I mean, these outside 4x4s usually end up getting snapped on whichever one is furthest north that takes most of the ice grunt. Meat and cheese, cheese and cheese. Anyway, in other Mopar related news, me and Jay both forgot that we bought 268 Fastback Barracudas 5 years ago. And I got a message yesterday from a guy saying, hey, you need to come pick these cars up. I sold the property. And I'm like, cars? And then it struck me. 268 Fastback Barracudas we got in 2020 during COVID for next to nothing. They both have titles, but they've been sitting in the back of a body shop's like spare parts car yard for like 40 years. So there is about 2.5 feet of cat shit on the driver's side floorboard last time I seen it 5 years ago. So I imagine the cat shit depth has increased to at least 2 feet, 3/4, maybe 3.5 feet. I'm not sure. Just turning the shit out this again. So yeah. Gotta go to my private hell. I have a 2005 Nissan Pathfinder that has been the bane of my existence for the last 4 days. Take care and be safe out there. You should know better than to be working on a Pathfinder. Cope. Cat poop. Yeah, there's a lot of cat shit in the car, Colleen. Lots and lots of it. So there's the back slew to behind Indian Isle where that bar was. You can see some old big giant concrete blocks. Probably was their dock back on this side, maybe. But yeah, on that side of the creek or slough, any of them root balls, you'll find all kinds of crazy stuff. And then on top of it, you can find Indian artifacts everywhere out here. Arrowheads. Arrowheads are a common thing to find. Axes or tomahawk, hammers, stuff like that. This is, the Mississippi people, woodland folk that lived on top of all these hills. So along all these bluffs that you see here are conical mounds, bear mounds, eagle mounds. Way up north there's Effigy Park, where the effigy mounds are, or like marching bears and stuff like that. These low river valley bottoms, if you go south from here on the Iowa side, They recently discovered more mounds about 15 years ago that we knew about probably 30 years ago when we were kids. Yeah, there's the back entrance. But yeah, just another dock moving adventure. We got 4 people in here, 4 thumbs up. Thanks, I appreciate you guys stopping in. It blows my mind that some crackhead can read tarot cards and have 900 people watch that BS. And then we're out here in God's country. And we can get, what, 12 people at a time, maybe? I guess it's not enough fake drama on our channel. The coldest temperature, I mean, I've seen minus 50 with the wind chill. But I mean, it's been pretty damn cold. Without the wind chill, we've gotten, you know, minus 10, minus 15. And then in the summertime, I've seen 115. So, what was it? 2 weeks ago, it was 88 degrees, and the next day it was 38 degrees. I was known for tricking you. Can't see it. I can hardly see them, but there's a band of, I don't know, geese or pelicans way off in the distance. There's tons of them. Those are ducks and geese. Just right where the clear sky meets the clouds, way off in the distance. There's a bunch of Steven seagulls out on the mud flat, nibbling. A little too cold to be spotting turtles on logs, but we might see an eagle. Well, in fact, there's one right there. Sitting on the very top of that tree. See not the farthest left, but the one next to it, a little black bump on top. It's a bald-headed eagle. Mississippi river rat of the flying variety. Raven, lion. Yeah, Colleen, I know. Technically, my job is very cool right now. I'm freezing. It's cold. Trying to see more eagles. Yeah, there goes a band of pelicans, it looks like. Pelicans, seagulls, eagles, mallards, Canadian geese. There goes another band of them. And they're black and white. I'm guessing they're pelicans. They used to never migrate this way until about 20 years ago. I'd never seen a pelican up here ever in my entire life. And then one day, all of a sudden, thousands of pelicans showed up, landed in our waters, and started eating the shit out of fish. There's a peregrine falcon that lives on top of that grain silo too. You can hear them. They're pretty distinctive. Steven seagulls. Oh, hell yeah. Bluegrass AC/DC. Yep, no problem, Colleen. Yeah, it's just glass out here. Yeah, you can find a house in our area from about 60 to 600,000, depending if you want to live on top of the hill overlooking the river, or if you want to live in town or next to a factory over in Prairie. The average person makes about anywhere from 40 to 60,000 a year, I believe, around here. It's pretty laid back. There's no real draw to this area other than the natural beauty, nature. We don't have a water park or anything like that. I mean, we got a pizza ranch and a super Walmart and a couple other fast food spots over here in Prairie, which is about, I don't know, like 6,000 people. Marquette's like 400 people and McGregor's like 800. We just kind of lumped the three towns together, even though one's in Wisconsin. Lars, how the hell you doing, buddy? Good to see you too. Dock with power with a covered slip like this will run you about $2,000 for the season. You can decorate your slip however you want. This guy hung a beer can up there to scare birds away from his boat. And all it did was attract me and Jeremy towards it. Then we found out it was empty. 27-foot Ranger. There's a bigger dock over there that I know 28-foot boats fit in, or 30-footers do at least. Oh, 28. That's the big Tritoons now, or 28s, right? But then they got that overhang with the transom and the motor, so they're basically 30 foot in my eyes. But we could fit you over there. I think those slips with power and no lift are $2,000 to $2,200 for the season. I think there's a couple of them open yet that haven't been rented out yet. Well, the season's kind of played by Mother Nature. So whenever she wants us to have the season, that's when it goes. But it's generally anywhere. The docks generally get set in the area of March, April, May. And that again is depending on Mother Nature. We could have, you know, crazy flood water where we just can't set the docks because the water's too high. Once the water gets over 13 foot, you basically can't set them. And in the spring, we get floods. And when you're sitting at 20 foot of water, you can't pull a chain to set the docks. And then right now it's November, and we're moving them. But we sent out letters on October 1st to please have the boats out by October 15th, so then we can start preparing the Great Migration. Well, I'll tell you what, there's campgrounds around here with power and sewer. And me and Annie bought that RV from No Name Nationals #2, the second annual No Name Nationals. We bought a Winnebago and we used it one fucking time. And it just sits in my yard. The heat works, air conditioning works, fridge, everything in it works. Annie wants it gone for $6,500. You buy that, you get yourself a camping spot on the river over here, then you bring your boat up, shit, you'd be set all summer up here. Basically April through October. Yep. And if you're a good guy, I can get you in the water sooner and keep you in the water later. Like currently my boat's still in the water because I plan on going out and trying to do a little walleye fishing this fall yet, or winter or whatever, until the ice starts building up. Then I'll pull the boat. We fold the docks up at Botels. We keep some of the docks on the Iowa side that are protected by a little bit of a land bump out. So you can throw a board down and still get to the dock in your boat. It just doesn't have power to it. But yeah, I mean, I take it for granted up here. I've moved to Florida before and tried to, you know, get a job down there and live down there, but ended up back here. Just relaxing. A big fat eagle's nest in the woods there. See the ball in the trees? If the dock would move faster, come on. Where's it at? There it is. I bet a guy could lay down in that thing. She's a big one. Whew. I'm gonna have to put bitch mittens on. My hands are getting cold. We're back in the 70s. How's the temperatures there? It's like in the low 40s currently, but there's humidity in the air, so it makes it feel a little bit colder. Yeah, Florida's fun. It's nice. I don't mind, you know, being hot in the summer down there, but going anywhere takes you an hour, even if it's like 10 miles away, and then it costs you $100 to just go somewhere, it feels like. So it's constantly driving, constantly spending money is what it seems like. It's just a rat race. I'm too unmotivated for a rat race lifestyle. That is mix. You gotta mix it, yeah. The tractor's oil injected, right?
Yeah.
It's full.
But that thing won't pee now.
It won't pee?
No.
Oh. Oh, we're moving pretty good.
I know, but I thought the next dock we bring over is going to be bigger.
Oh, yeah.
The big cover dock over. If we get this one around that corner, we still get that big cover dock around.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I need a little more horsepower.
We'll go get some two-stroke oil. I got another 5 gallons right here. The tank's 17 gallons in the one, so. Last time I took it out, I pulled somebody back and I never filled it back up. I imagine it's got half the tank or less.
Do that, or you can push this and you can put my boat in here and steer with my boat.
Yeah.
I don't want to try and run my boat. I got a steel prop, or I got a stainless steel prop on there.
Right.
If I hit something, I'll fuck my lower unit all up. But with you steering, it won't hurt it.
No, yeah.
When we get around there, you can.
And then, yeah, because the trim works on that boat, I'm sure. Oh, I gotta put my gloves on. Yeah, the heat in this boat doesn't work worth a shit. We gotta go around this wide, ladies. There's a big mud flat here. Have you guys ever had Potosi beer? Yes. That is some really good stuff. I like the brewery in the town. Yeah, Potosi's about 45 minutes away south of here. I like the brewery. When I was a sales manager for an energy company in Wisconsin, and they bought their liquid propane from us. So I would get to go down to the brewery and redo their contracts for their LP gas. It was pretty nice. Because then you get to walk around and, hey, what's your equipment? I gotta see it. So you kind of force yourself into snooping around. You know, another thing with working in the LP industry, if you have a restaurant or you're a school or any public place, you have to get an annual leak check done on your LP equipment. And as a service tech, you'll find out what restaurants you don't really want to go and eat at any longer, because you'll go to check some of the fryers and stoves and stuff, and you got to roll the equipment away from the wall to, you know, shut the gas valves off and shit so you can do your leak test. And there's like 3-4 inches of grease build up and like stuff you don't want to see in a restaurant. They're not paying attention again. What's up, Lone Wrench? How you been? Be nice. You should not have to use this front boat to do any steering when you're going in the channel. Country boy, what's happening, brother? Alrighty. I'm just gonna let them see what the hell they're doing. They're just fucking turning the absolute shit out of me. If we turn sharp right now, we're gonna end up destroying the dock and getting stuck. They get the hint that I don't want to turn sharp right now. Anyway, yeah, dude, we're moving a 80-footer over to Wisconsin. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, why the fuck are you turning us so sharp right here? Trying to get us stuck. Yeah, I would like to think so, CB, but this is one of the smaller ones, Lone Wrench. We got two that are way bigger than this we got to move you up. We're pouring concrete for the garage tomorrow. It would be nice to either build the nacho, or it'd be nice to build the nacho or not build it, but basically got to pull the motor out of the nacho because the rear main seal's not self-healing, if that makes sense. And it'd be nice to start building. It would be nice to start building the D50. Oh. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to start running dock lines and stuff to shore here soon, and I'm getting a little aggravated that this thing is just turning constantly on its own. Yeah, it'll be nice to see you again, CB. But yeah, I'm gonna shut her down. I'm running out of things to talk about. But thanks for stopping in, guys, and have a great day. We'll see you later.